What's good, y'all? It's Oddity. Welcome back to The Craft. Welcome back to another episode where I talk about hip-hop, where I talk about my experiences and advice that I have from my 12 plus years of being a hip-hop artist. So
do it for the cash, others do it for the passion. Is you working on your craft? Is you really about that action? The Craft. Welcome.
this episode, we're going to talk about a topic that was actually brought to me. Someone messaged me on Instagram and asked my advice on this. And I love when people do that because I was not that type of person when I was first getting started. I had to learn everything on my own because I was kind of afraid to ask for fear of ridicule and just fear of rejection. So shout out to this individual for this question. They asked me what my advice would be on how to get their first rap show. It made me think back to when I first started performing and how that evolved. And the advice that I gave was kind of just got to immerse yourself in whatever scene it is that there is wherever you're living. And I know different cities have, and some people live in cities, some people live in towns where there's not a lot of a scene. So it just depends where you live. But let's say you live somewhere that does have a music scene, you kind of have to immerse yourself. And by that I mean, go find open mics. Look on Facebook and type in open mics and there'll be pages. Go find the music scene page of your city or town and then look for open mics. Go to an open mic, and even if you don't want to perform, if you're not even comfortable performing, just go and watch and network and try to meet people and add people on social media. And it starts getting easier each time you go to open mic. Let's say you perform a song, and if you frequent open mic, that is like the grassroots of getting into the music scene, and therefore being able to meet people that can help you get shows. And how I went about getting my first show was the same way. Open mic, I started going because I just loved the environment. It was welcoming. I was adding people on Facebook and Instagram, and we were networking on social media, and then I was just feeling more comfortable with those people and asking them like, what would be a good venue if I wanted to do a show. And I started getting emails to email addresses of venues and contact information of places where, you know, I could potentially put a show on. And so the next step I would say is, you've done the open mics, you've done the networking, you've met people, you figured out venues. I would say you want to find one or two or three other artists who are similar level as you, or maybe different levels, it doesn't matter, and put together a lineup, because for your first show it can be discouraging if you put all this work in and there's no one there. So find two or three other artists, you guys collaborate on promotion, you guys cross promote, and by cross promote I mean like promote each other through each other's fans, so you're all fans, family and friends. And then a lot of venues have like a fee that you have to pay to rent the venue. The more artists you have, the less it is per person, and it just makes it more feasible when you're coming up. So my advice would be, start at the open mics, network, meet people that you feel comfortable enough to talk about that stuff with. It's a ripple effect that just builds on that. Once you have that first show, it's only up from there. I remember my first show was at probably I think a little coffee house or something, and you just keep grinding and building that network, and you move up from that coffee shop to that 50-person venue, to that 100-person venue, to that whatever that ideal venue in your city is that you're aiming to get to. You can get there. It's just, you gotta grind. Thank you for that individual that messaged me that question. I love when that happens because I love to share my knowledge. So I hope that was helpful. Make sure that you hit subscribe if you haven't. Make sure that you hit like. Make sure that you leave a comment if you feel so inclined. Share the video, and thank you guys. It's The Craft. I'm Oddity. I'll see you next episode.